Hi, everyone, and welcome to part three. And today we'll be discussing what happens if there's no beneficiary. And as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I have slides that's just for me to keep in focus and keep on topic so I won't just ramble. But anyway, we're going to continue. And so let's get started. So now let's talk about something that happens more than people realize. There's no beneficiary listed at all. Or maybe the person listed has passed away and no backup was named. That's the big no-no. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this right here is when the life insurance payout gets complicated. A lot of folks think, well, I'm the spouse or I'm the child, so it should automatically come to me. But with life insurance, that doesn't work that way. And what happens is no one is listed or everyone is listed has died. And when there's no named beneficiary or all beneficiaries already passed away, the money doesn't just go to the closest living relative. It usually gets paid out to the estate of the deceased, and that triggers probate. And so I'm going to explain what probate is. Probate is a court process where a judge decides who gets what from someone's estate. It's public, it's slow, and it can be very, very expensive. So if you ever heard about families fighting over money after someone dies, it's probably because there was no will, no trust, and no named beneficiaries. And that process can be very tedious because I hear about it all the time with the calls that I take from work. And so why does this matter? Once the life insurance goes into the estate, it can take months or even years to get paid out. Creditors like medical bills, old debt, taxes can claim part or all of it. The money can get split in ways you didn't intend, and it creates unnecessary stress for your loved one. The legal order of priority, and this is what most insurances use within some in this situation when there is no beneficiary listed, they have to go in the order of priority. And in most states, if there's no named beneficiary, the court or insurance companies follow the legal order of priority, kind of like a default family tree. So this is how it usually looks. Priority, who gets the money if no one is listed? Legal spouse, children, split evenly, parents, siblings, and then the state. So it does go in order. So if you're legally married, then it go in the first person that will receive it will be the spouse. And if you're not married, then it'll trickle down to your children. And if you have more than one child, it'll get split evenly between amongst those children. And then if there is no children, then it goes to your parents. And then if the parents are deceased, then it goes down to your siblings. And if neither one of those are options, then it'll go to the estate. So that's really how that works. And so let me be real. This list might not affect your real life. Maybe you've been estranged from your kids. Maybe you're not married, but you had been a partner for 15 years. Maybe you're a stepchild, or your stepchild is your heart, but they're not legally adopted. If you don't name them, they're not protected. And so here's a real life example. So I once saw a case where a man had been with his girlfriend for 15 years. They shared a home, pets, everything, but his policy did not list her as the beneficiary. So when he died, the money went to his estranged parents, not the woman he lived with. Why? Because the paperwork said nothing. And that's very important. A lot of times you see where people been with their significant other for 10, 20 years, 5 years, however long they've been together. They're not married. And lo and behold, they cannot claim the life insurance because they legally are not married to that person. And that's an issue. And so they can't get nothing, and not unless your significant other itself lists you as a beneficiary. And if they don't, then you stuck without anything. You've been with this person all these years. So it's very, very, very important to make sure someone is listed. Cause that's a lot of more heartache, heartbreak. I mean, it's just a lot. Not saying money is everything, but in this situation, you feel like why, you know, it's just so many questions that you have answered. Like, why didn't he or she list me? Then you have those thoughts in your head. So to prevent all of that, protect your loved one. If you really love that person, just name them. If that's what you want to do, as far as giving them, your life insurance policy after you are past, life is past. So just be mindful of that. And so, because the insurance company doesn't know your family dynamics, it only knows what's written down. This is why it's very important to list primary and contingent beneficiaries and keep that form up to date every time your life changes. Because if you don't, the money may go to court, to creditors, or the people you didn't attend. While the people you did love while the people you did love and support are left with nothing. So don't let the court decide. The truth is, if you don't choose, the court will, and their decision might not reflect your heart or your life. So please check your policies, name your beneficiaries, update after divorce, death, or any major life changes. And so stay tuned as I will be uploading part 4. We'll be discussing stepchildren, long-term partners, and why love isn't enough legally. So it's basically just a spinoff from what I just said from here about not having someone listed, especially long-term partners. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and we can continue this series.